Alright, I'm back. Sorry for the delay. Had some things pop up that I needed to take care of. Took a little longer than expected, but I am back. And we are just about to get started. Let's see here. Switch over here. Finally, here we go. Alright, so let me see if I can get the timer set up properly here. I guess I'll need to enter the time. Let's see how you do this. I kind of forgot here. Edit? Oh, here we go. Start timer at 1:48:08 is the time we put into this so far. What's up, Chicago? Yep. Dropping those references. Man, I have not seen this movie in forever. As I was playing the games from the first movie, I really started really jonesed into rewatch all these movies. But now I feel like I should like replay all the games before I rewatch any of the movies. Okay, so we got the timer up there. Let's see if we can get the game up and running. Big shame, obviously, to have to turn off this amazing Tim Follin soundtrack. But there we go. Let's load up the disk image. Or, I mean, my legitimate disk. Hang on. No, not live split. There we go. Think the controls are all set up too. Yeah, so I went on Amazon and saw you can get the like the Blu-ray bundle with all 4 of the Burton Schumacher movies for, I don't know, cheap, not a lot. And I'll definitely buy them. But I figured even if I were to buy them now, I don't know when I would actually get around to watching any of them. So I figured, yeah, screw it. I'll play some more of these games before I do. Oh yeah, hang on. Let me send a tweet out. I kind of forgot to do that, didn't I? All right, let's watch this attract mode a few more times as I send out a little tweet. Bear with me, guys. There we go. That's that sent out. See, maybe some more people will find their way here. A few of you brave souls here already. It's pretty cool. Always appreciate it, of course. So, this game, I don't know if you watched last time, but if you did, you know that it's, in fact, rather difficult. So, this game originally was a Mega Drive cartridge game. Let me turn up the volume a little bit. And for the CD version, they added these driving stages. So you can pick here whether you want the platform or driving stages only, or if you want the quote-unquote full game. There is a training difficulty, which was not present in the cartridge version. I don't know if it will limit what number of stages or anything. Like, I'm not sure if it limits how much of the games we'll get to play, but I remember this, or rather the cartridge version from my childhood, being a very difficult game, and we made some pretty decent progress at the game last time, and it seems like you've got infinite continues, or rather, you do get continues, and the game makes no mention of them being limited. The thing is, for the platforming stages, you do have special weapons, which I guess get reset whenever you continue. And they are really important because the Batman's melee attacks fucking suck. They're really terrible. Like, they mostly serve to extend your hurt box into the enemy's hitbox. It's almost impossible to use melee attacks without trading hits. So you essentially want to use those weapons. And I'm not sure exactly how this works out in the long run. I know for the first couple of stages, at least in the cartridge version, where you don't have to worry about the driving stages, you kind of farm for a bit and then make great use of those special weapons. Hey, Running Wild, what's up? And thank you very much for that host. I kind of made more progress in the game than I expected last time, to be perfectly honest, but I still feel very torn on how to approach the game, knowing that even with only the platforming stages, it's still a really hard game, and like the driving stages only, you know, making that kind of worse. However, I have learned, doing a quick check on game FAQs, that there is in fact a level select code. Or in fact, there's like a cheat code, which I think you enter on this screen, and it will enable a level select cheat. So, in absolute worst case scenario, we can at least use that cheat code to see every level. Like, if we reach the point where I just give up because it's too hard, we can at least see every level. I mean, hopefully it doesn't come to that, but I think it's reassuring to know that that's an option. This game is not exactly mostly driving the Batmobile. Essentially, the game starts, if you play the full game, it starts with a driving sequence. And for every platforming stage from the cartridge game, they added one driving stage. So it's 50-50 driving and platforming. There was, however, a Adventures of Batman and Robin game for the Mega CD, which essentially plays the same as this game, except it's only the driving stages. But this game has kind of both. Why don't we quickly look up the cheat code here, just to sort of confirm that it works, that we haven't been gravely tricked. And so far we've seen the first two driving stages, and they're kind of, I don't know, I think if the driving stages keep increasing in difficulty the way the platforming stages do, I dread the last few driving stages, but we'll see. Okay, so let's see. It says go to the options screen and wait until game. Okay, actually let's go back to the main menu and then go back to the options screen. Let's do this proper here. Yeah, the game makes liberal use of sprite scaling and rotation, which was a hardware feature in the Mega CD, not present in the Mega Drive. Unfortunately, it kind of overuses it a bit, because I feel like the hardware is not quite good enough at it to really make it work well enough. You'll see once we get into the game, which I promise will be shortly. Okay. Go to the option select, wait until game type screen appears. Choose driving. Press and hold left and then press B. Move to difficulty, press left and hold B again. Let's do that for everything. Then all the way back up. Okay, I see. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we got the cheat enabled here. So during the game, if we pause and press C, we can skip the level. But we'll see if we feel like using it or not. I feel okay. Wait. I don't actually want to play driving only. I actually want to play the full game. There we go. But I will play on training because this shit is hard. Okay. Let's start then and turn on the timer. So the music, it was mentioned. The music in this is pretty alright. It's pretty cool music, courtesy of Spencer Nielsen, who did a bunch of soundtracks for Sega of America for their CD games. But I don't mean to throw him under the bus or anything, but unfortunately I think that this soundtrack pales in comparison to the cartridge soundtrack, which I think is just way cooler. Alright, oh, that's the missile button. Okay, great, wasted a few of those. So the way these stages work is you just gotta kill everything. You'll see the red enemy life bar on the bottom there. It goes down as I kill enemies. And as I clear out the enemy life bar, I move on to the next, well, stage as they call it, the next sort of section. And we have to do it in limited time. Let me know what the sound levels are like, by the way. It's always a little hard to tell. I've noticed, checking out a few of my VODs, that I think game audio has been maybe a little on the low side. So I try to keep it a little higher here, but by all means do let me know if it's difficult to hear my voice or anything. Volume's fine, alright, cool, thank you. Turbo boost a bit here, catch up. Like, the thing is with this mode or these levels, like, there really aren't very big margins, right? Run over Batman trash cans to get some more missiles. Hoffman, what's up? We definitely are. We definitely are. Ooh. Fuck, as soon as you get hit, you sort of grind to a halt. Alright, I'm gonna missile that asshole. Oh, time up, okay. So yeah, keep in mind we're before the first stage and we're on the easy difficulty. We're already like losing lives. Like, you hold up on the D-pad just to accelerate normally, and on the B button you have a like turbo boost kind of thing, which seems to be mostly unlimited. I don't really know exactly how it works, but it's basically just a second alternative. Accelerator. Ah, okay, there we go. Nice, got some missiles. But you really kind of have to turbo boost in between enemies just to make it to the next one before time runs out. See, let's make use of these missiles. But yeah, even from the get-go, you're really in a rush. Alright, the mid-boss. And I hate this. Like, I really wish the projectiles would be kind of glued to the road. I mean, it would make sense, but I really hate how as soon as there's a slope, like, you just can't hit anything. Because either you shoot your projectiles up into the sky or into the ground. I mean, and the effects, like the scaling and everything, it's impressive, it's kind of cool, but it's, like, kind of not impressive enough because it just doesn't run very well. I mean, I will say, I mean, it's at least, you can't fault them for lack of effort. Like, as far as cartridge to CD ports go, it's not bad. Like, they really added a lot of content, which would not have been possible without the Mega CD. It's just not that great, I guess. Especially given that my hand hurts. The way you have to like keep holding up on the D-pad. It's really not very comfortable. And in case you're wondering, I am playing on a legitimate Mega Drive controller. I can show you in a second. Did I get him? Alright, let's make use of those missiles. Ah. There we go. That's my controller right here. Making use of that like Mega Drive to USB converter I bought on a whim, like I don't know how many years ago, 6 years ago maybe. Pretty much have never used it until now. Thankfully it works just fine. But yeah, stuff like this, like the explosions like being really huge and slowly animating, but also their like Molotov cocktails or whatever. Everything is just moving kind of jerkily, and it is kind of frustrating because as soon as you are in a section where there really isn't much going on, like the frame rate doubles, and it actually feels pretty good. Like these parts in between stages where there's no enemies are pretty fine. Oh no, the boss. Okay, I hate this part. So let's see if we can figure this shit out. Basically, yeah, you gotta take out all these clowns without getting absolutely destroyed by that flamethrower. I did manage to beat it last time, but I kind of didn't really know what the hell I did. And time is extremely tight. But yeah, you can see like those guys are falling off. But you will also see just shooting 8 billion times and even stuff flashing without the life bar of the boss going down. But yeah, if you like touch the fire, you're kind of screwed. Yep, I'm dead. Oh, it's really hard. Just using turbo boost here to catch up. So like the first part of the life bar, we can just yeah, we can hit whatever, I guess. But when you reach a certain point, you won't deal any damage unless you hit these guys. You gotta kind of guess where to go, and if he decides to aim the flamethrower at you, then you're just fucked. Like the original game wasn't particularly super well designed necessarily, but the car stages are just obnoxious, and like you can't really react in time to stuff. Like it's just a hassle, and like you gotta if you need to brake to avoid the fire, you just you grind to a complete halt. All right, let's see if we can make this on our first credit. Like, oh nope, he decided to shoot my way, and now I lost 60% life in 2 seconds. All right, mashed out some close range missiles. Seemed to maybe work, but I don't know. All this junk covering the screen, like it's just hard to make out what the hell's happening anyway. I really dislike this boss. Like, it's weird that this is the first boss too. Like, it's so confusing. The second boss, while not exactly perfect, is a lot less confusing than this one is. Yeah, the music is easily the best part of the fight. I hate the way it restarts like that every time. It's a little sudden and awkward, but maybe I should... Oh, boy. Smash out a few rockets right there at the start. No, I'm dead. Okay, wow, somehow survived. Dead. Like, the controls are responsive. It's not really hard to, like, make turns or anything. But it's more about everything being very sluggish, so it's hard to tell. Like, you gotta keep an eye on the flamethrower guy at all times. Kind of see where he's aiming. But if he's switching his aim, everything moves in, like, really large increments. Or he can just turn while firing. Like that. And you're kind of fucked anyway. Alright, we got one guy. You just pass him too. Let's see. Okay, so we got the two guys on the left. Well, left. So I got it. I'm dead. Yeah, I couldn't break in time. So when you got dudes on one side left, you gotta like, well, obviously they're gonna show up on the left, so you hang out there. But if you shoot to the left, then there's nothing you can do. You can't really stick around on that side to deal damage. So we gotta wait it out, spending more of that precious time. I don't know. It seems, I don't know for a fact, but it seems like getting close, like your bullets do more damage when up close. No, I'm not exactly sure. There's many things I'm not exactly sure about. I'm dead. Nope. Okay, I made it. Made a little assumption there. But like, yeah, I'm not dead. Alright, okay, game over. We didn't make it to stage 1. That's cool. I
You don't really think you'll win, do you?
use the practice, I guess. Oh yeah, this is easy mode, by the way, too. Or training mode or whatever. It's not normal. It's training. So we don't get to start at the boss or anything. Nope, we have to redo the entire thing. And, I mean, granted, I did lose a life early on because I was not really paying attention. But for the most part, none of this is hard. Until you get to the boss. Basically, I died before at the beginning because I didn't really use the turbo. And in a rare bout of generosity, the game actually does refill your life entirely for each stage, as they call it. Oh, okay, got him. But yeah, like, shit gets covered in explosions and fire, and it's hard to see what's even going on. Like, they really... overpopulate the screen with shit. I mean, I feel bad complaining because it is really cool, but I don't know. I feel like the system just can't quite cope with it. I wish they would have put less stuff and have it run more smoothly. Even like sacrificing screen space, like having this render over a smaller section of the screen would be preferable. But they really didn't prioritize playability. At least, like, this is really straightforward. Okay, you gotta avoid the clown, right? The jack-in-the-box thing. Like, there's no mystery to it, really. It can be a little difficult or annoying, but you understand what's happening. But the fire truck thing is, like, really wild. Like, you shoot at it, and it takes damage until it suddenly just stops taking damage. And it seems like shooting the clowns or whatever, the dudes, doesn't necessarily seem like that works, but it does. It works slightly more than anything else you can try. So I guess that's what you're supposed to do. Even having beaten the boss previously, I still feel like I'm not exactly sure if that's what you're really supposed to do, but I think that's kind of what I managed to make work. Also, I just realized, I guess 9 rockets are is the max Well, I conveniently managed to miss all of them there, so... I think there's one more stage with only bikes left before the boss again. Stage 5, yeah. Second to last. Well, I should keep in mind to actually make use of those missiles. I'll use them in this stage if I'm at risk of running out of time, but otherwise try to use them on the boss. Because even if I lose by time, I'm pretty sure I will just lose the extra missiles. Should be it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, that was really fast actually. Alright. Slow down a bit, see what's going on. I think he's still like targeting the actual truck, which is kind of why I want to use them like point blank like this and see if I can actually hit the dudes. So I think it's when I'm at like 4 or 5 pips on his life bar that it starts getting a little tricky to actually hit shit. Yeah, so much for using missiles. Okay, got a little generated by the fire there, but dude, he even like keeps opening the empty side. God, they take so many fucking hits. Braking. I'm dead. Oh, this is so annoying. Like I just don't understand how I'm supposed to like manipulate. Like, barely tried to react. You have to shoot each of these dudes like 50 times. And at least I don't think you can hit them when they're just sitting on the side like that. This could be okay. Nope, nope. Okay. There's quite frankly a lot of shit to keep your eye on at once. Like, how did that dude not die there? Oh, there we go. Oh, nice. Perfect. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Ah. And even then, I was like 8 seconds away, 9 or 8 seconds away from dying. And you gotta manage your speed by like making use of both the regular acceleration and the turbo kind of off and on. Alright, that's actually going really well now. Oh, see that? Like I tapped down once and I just went to a complete stop. Okay, this is actually really great right now. Can open up? Nope. There we go. Okay, got him. Whew. All right, it only took like 8 lives, and my hands are all sore. Whew. So now we're at the first platforming stage. yet. You kind of want to, like, I'm not taking the shortest direct path here. On the contrary, is the expression. I'm kind of making a bit of a detour to try to collect some more extra stuff. Whoops. Oh, that's also one of those, right. Because again, these extra weapons are all quite valuable. I don't quite remember the exact route you want to take, though. Yeah, Gundam, what's up? We're back to the CD version because I want to make a proper attempt at this version of the game. I think I want to go right here. Taking a beating, though. But that's the game. So one thing this version has going for it is that it doesn't have the low health beeping. Oh, god damn it! It is graciously quiet, even as you approach death. Okay, sure. Alright, that was empty. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm gonna die here. Let's not fuck with that guy. Alright, let's go for a ride. At least this part is CC. The sound the sound levels are all messed up though. Like the voices, the sound effects are so quiet compared to the music. Whoops. Sound effect where you defeat Catwoman is also gone in this version. Anyway, here we go. We're in Farmville. This is where we gotta start dealing with these annoying as shit. Tricycle, unicycle, whatever thing. Have I played Dragon Ball Fighters? I tried like 1 or 2 matches in the beta. Came to the conclusion that it seems pretty well made. Actually, it seems very well made. But it's not really for me. I'm not a big fan of Arc System Works fighting games. Like I would like to see more of it. I would like to play it, but given how much or how little, I guess you could say, I would enjoy it, I didn't think I could justify spending full price on it. And I think that was the right decision, because I bought Monster Hunter World, and I played that for about 30 minutes. So, if I would have bought it, I probably wouldn't really have played it. But, I look forward to buying it for like 20 euros down the line. Ah, that's not how you do this. Shit. So that right there is an extra life. You can only swing once per jump, so I totally fucked that up. Anyway, we can farm for a bit here. And... oh, perfect timing. We can and we will, at least a little bit. So if we don't plug this up, we will just get sucked back in and have to repeat this room. Well, I didn't quit Monster Hunter because it was boring or anything. I had set aside a Saturday basically for playing it right after it came out. And I started it, and about 30 minutes in, I was literally falling asleep. And I just figured, I can't focus on this right now. I'll play it some other time. And then it's now. I'm having some issues with my sleep these days, so... Ooh. Yeah, fuck. I've got some sleep issues, and that can result in sometimes me just being... Some days I just like pass out, pretty much. Not really, but like if I'm playing games or something that just require focus, I just can't really do it, or I won't enjoy it anyway. So I'll just take a nap and come back to it later, or as the case may be, I don't really come back to it. That's kind of how I do it, except you don't fuck it up, ideally. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can pick up here, including a 1-up. Most crucially, of course. Those water sprays, they have a really annoying pattern where they spray 3 times and then twice. So you gotta like keep track. I mean, I will say too, by the way, on the topic of Dragon Ball, that personally I have absolutely zero connection to the source material. I've watched 2 episodes maybe of the original Dragon Ball anime. I've watched absolutely nothing of Dragon Ball Z. Those characters mean nothing to me, so that isn't really a draw. I mean, I like the character design to some extent or whatever. Shit, I just realized I forgot to pick up the health. So you can see what I mean, by the way, in terms of dealing with certain enemies, the importance of these special weapons. Because you just can't really, you're not equipped to deal with them without these weapons. Even with them, sometimes it's pretty bad. So there's the life I forgot to pick up last time. You ideally want to... you don't want to pick up the 1-up and then die before you can pick it up again. That's a bit of a waste. Yeah, but Gundam, that's basically me in every game. You might... Well, I guess you can't really see from the quality, but there's like a couple of 100 games right there behind me, and that right there is the story for arguably most of them. Shit. Alright, that went pretty well. So, I mean, I don't know exactly the importance of farming here, but I would like to do it a little bit anyway. But, so yeah, I mean, I can see, I understand, I can relate, by all means, to people who are super stoked because they're Dragon Ball fans. And if I was a Dragon Ball fan, for sure, I would probably love the game. Or at the very least, I would be willing to look past... What the fuck? Sorry, why were there 2 clowns there? I would have a much easier time overlooking my dislike... Oh, I was at 3, okay. For Arc System Works games. Or... Dislike is a strong word. I don't necessarily dislike the game, but I just don't really... I just don't like them. Just the way the feel of the games in terms of like the physics and movement and mechanics and stuff. I understand the Dragon Ball is a little different, but it also like unquestionably has a lot of the kind of stuff that I just don't really like. I could absolutely learn to enjoy it, or like learn to look past that easier if it was Again, based on something I cared for. Oh, that was nice. Calculate that. Alright. Here, this is looking better. Okay. Like, say, if they were to make another Fist of the North Star game, I would be so all over that, like you wouldn't believe. One can dream that that would be a future project. Or, like, I remember hearing rumblings that Arc System Works were working on a Double Dragon versus fighter. Because, of course, Arc System Works owns Technos and all of their IP. And I remember hearing something about that. Not really like substantiated, but I like the idea of that. And like Double Dragon means more to me than Guilty Gear or Dragon Ball does. So I'd be very interested, you know, in checking it out at least. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this a lot better now. Okay, it just takes a little practice to get this right. Yeah, I'm missing something over there. Oh well. I think for this particular section, I like this music a lot better than the cartridge version. Like this is nice. This is good grinding music. Yeah, Blade Blue, like, granted I was never a big fan in the first place, but I definitely lost what little sense I had for that game and its roster back in, like, Continuum Shift 2. That's, like, where I stopped trying to keep up, and there's been, like, 6 versions since then. But I also think Dragon Ball is deliberately kept similar. Like, it gets really daunting if you have to learn... if you're building up a team, you have to learn 3 characters in a roster that are all like extremely diverse. That's a lot to ask, especially of players who might not come from a like fighting game background. So I absolutely got the impression that Dragon Ball is kind of kept, in certain ways, kept simpler. Not necessarily easier in every way, but just, for fuck's sake, I fucked that up. Then say Guilty Gear or Blade Blue. It's funny though, like people have very different ideas of what makes something accessible or not. Like, I've been playing fighting games, obviously not in a super competitive sense or anything, but I've been playing fighting games since Street Fighter 2, you know, for whatever it is now, 25-something years. And I will find certain things in a game like Tekken or Guilty Gear really hard to grasp. Whereas I have friends who play fighting games who, you know, slightly younger guys who started playing fighting games with Blade Blue, and like that's their measuring stick. Like, you know, I've had them say basically, you know, describing a game, like I don't know, Virtua Fighter or Mortal Kombat or KOF or whatever. Like, say, like, something like MK9 or MKX, saying like, oh, it's, you know, if you're curious, it's pretty easy to play. Like, it's easy to jump in and just give it a shot. And they would be like, oh, okay, so, like, what about combos? Are they as easy as they are in Blade Blue? And I'm like, Wait, what do you mean? Combos are fucking hard as balls in those games. Like, anime Arc System Works fighting games feel super weird, and combos are, like, extremely hard to do. And they're like, no. And I don't know, it's just everything is so foreign. But I mean, obviously, it all comes down to what you're familiar with and what you kind of expect. And if you don't, I don't know, it's like people saying Smash Brothers has like simple controls. And to me, the mere idea of getting different moves, whether you tilt the stick halfway or completely. What the hell? I just slid through there. Okay. That's just like super weird to me. Wow. Okay. All right, I'm pretty much dead here. Unless, okay, maybe I can do this. Nice. Okay, got it. Wait, isn't there one up here somewhere? I think I probably missed it. I think there's a one up. No, there we go. Okay, nice. I mean, it all comes down to your expectations, what you're used to, and all that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, you know, old dogs and tricks and all that. I have a lot of stuff I have to like untrain to learn those games, but I don't know. But that's kind of what I mean too when I say I don't like Arc System Works games. There's just like the way how most of them handle stuff like recovering from combos in midair, where you have to have a feeling for when the forced like hit stun ends and you can press a button to recover, but you can't really mash because then it'll just start sticking out stuff that'll get counter hit. But you can't also not press buttons because then the opponent will get to do longer combos that aren't like real combos. Oh shit. And like me not playing any other games that function like that just feels super weird. Oh, almost. This shouldn't be a very hard stage. Yeah, I'll just blame being tired, I guess. There we go. So we do have, by the way, a whole selection here of special weapons. It's hard to even escape. Even batarangs don't really help. Right before the live too. God dang it. Like the worst timing to pick that up too, because now I didn't gain anything from it, but oh well. Screw it. I don't really know how the game handles like carrying stuff over between these stages and the car stages and stuff either. But it's just so hard to get through unscathed. But I think, like, as with any game, like, I have a hard time instinctively grasping, you know, you can call it the grammar or like the rhythm and feel of an Arc System fighting game. Whereas Virtua Fighter or NetherRealm games come far more naturally to me. But, you know, people are different. Okay, let's see here. So, we can use a few of these. Oh, okay, nice teleport. Nice, okay, we almost got him. There we go. Whew. Stage 1 clear. Or Act 1, I guess. Well, guys, I hope you're ready for another driving stage. I do like that we get this little intro for the driving stage. I will say I like the idea of the drive system in Blade Blue. I mean, I like that in Injustice too. I think it's a novel concept of having a button, you know, a character-specific button, so to speak. Oh yeah, get ready for a lot of driving. Every platform stage is preceded by a driving stage. Oh yeah, the bikes shoot missiles here. And you can't really make out shit, so I can jump over it, I guess. It would be interesting to see this game rendered at like double resolution. I know that I don't know if that's a thing in this or any other emulator. I know that like ZSNES, I think it was, some Super Nintendo emulator at least had the option of like rendering, like if you're running the emulator in a higher than original resolution, you could render like scaled sprite, well not sprites, since it doesn't actually scale sprites, but scaled backgrounds, Mode 7 stuff, in the actual rendered resolution. Like I'm sure that would make a lot of this shit a lot easier to actually read, just having that higher resolution. You still have to cope with the frame rate though. There are 5 stages in this game, or acts, I guess I should say. Keep with the game's own nomenclature here. So we're heading into Act 2. I mean, I guess this is Act 2. The driving part of Act 2. And when I played this the other night, we made it as far as Act 3. But it gets harder and harder. And for all I know, playing on training mode, there might actually be we might not even get to play the entire game. So this at least is fairly straightforward. You gotta, you know, just don't stay directly behind it when it's pissing flames. There we go. Well, like I said, I played the cartridge version of this game, and that doesn't have the driving parts, and I still would probably struggle to make it past Act 3. So we'll see. But I will say for Acts 1 and 2, the bosses aren't so bad, at least provided you've got some weapons. It's pretty straightforward to deal with them. Ooh, there's a lot of enemies left. One of these. Shoot some more frisbees at this guy. Jesus, he's got a lot of health. Like overshoot him, it's a little annoying. There we go. Next. This is not. See here, I can't hit him. Fucking hills. That's the part probably I hate the most about these stages. Nice. Okay, well that's not nice, but at least we got missiles. Okay. At least we made it here. That as soon as there's a hill, you can't shoot at shit because you either aim up or down. Oh yeah, the tunnel. So this part is kind of cool, except there's bats everywhere. So you're like guaranteed shit frame rate from start to finish. Except for like brief 2-second intervals here and there where there are no bats and there's like double frame rate. You just wish the whole stage would be like that. But that's, you know, that's this game. Alright, either you shoot up into the ceiling or you just jump up in the ceiling. Yeah, I'm dead. Ah. You can see too that even the enemy life bar, it's actually like stretching beyond the full capacity. I could not avoid that. Dude, fucking how strong is that guy? And there's like not really much fine tuning in the controls. Like you can't really make fine turns or anything. Like it's very everything is. It's not very granular, I guess you could say. It's really hard to avoid. Like I'm a little worried about the future of these stages. Just seeing the escalation from stage 1 to 2, that these bike guys have these rocket launchers now. Like what's gonna happen by the next one? There's 2 more cars left, I remember this. Let's see if we can get again. That's good. Okay, excellent. Probably didn't need to waste that rocket, but at least we're at the boss. So here we're at the truck with a cannon that shoots go-karts that also have cannons on them. So you gotta get like close enough to actually deal damage. But once you're close enough, you gotta deal with him actually shooting big-ass cannonballs, which do ridiculous damage if you get hit. But, and the hitbox is gigantic. But if you don't get rid of the go-karts, they will also shoot cannonballs at you. Which, as you can imagine, is an issue. And yeah, it's not super easy to avoid that shit when there's explosions literally covering the entirety. But yeah, if you can get up close like this and knock out a few missiles, you can do good damage pretty fast. And I think we got a good pattern going here. Yeah, I think we got him. So yeah, that's the second boss. Like, compare how straightforward that was to the fucking clown fire truck with the 800 dudes hanging off of it. Like, this is so much easier. It's all ass backwards. But hey, we're here at Shrek's Wonderland. Well, almost. Just gotta deal with the bikes first. This makes me sad because the music in the Mega Drive version here is so fucking good. It's like the perfect music to go with Batman's Swag Walk. Not that this is terrible, but it's not as good. Oh yeah, you pretty much can't really see anything happening here, so you just gotta, I don't know, hope for the best. Use batarangs to at least mitigate further damage. Just the occasional predictive batarang. Not to great effect, but... Alright, here we go. Boss time. Okay. hate that. Okay, let's see if I can make it over here now. Oh, no, I was aimed slightly wrong. Can I shoot up at him or something? It's funny because I remember this fight being different somehow. But I don't remember how. Okay, let's see. Oh, perfect. Oh. Yeah, I remember too that there's something like this boss fight is supposed to be super trivial, but I don't remember it at all. See, and now he catches up and like... Oh shit, that's a faster way of travel. Holy shit, that did not do... Alright, let's waste all that shit, but at least we've passed him. Yeah, I should look it up, I guess. Well, we have to deal with him ever again. Yeah, this section too has such a good song in the other version. This makes me a little sad. We at least learned sort of how to deal with these guys by sort of jumping into the range. But I really hate how, like, if you press up and jump, you just jump. You have to hold up for a split second before he starts aiming up. And that can really mess you up. Let's see if we... Oh, these dudes do. So there is a bunch of stuff hidden here, so... Kinda wanna grab it. And there's definitely a lot of kind of optional stuff because the route goes a little all over the place. Okay, I guess that hit me. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that's just sort of designed to be annoying, I guess. Like, it's not necessarily fun or interesting to deal with. It's just a nuisance. But I believe this is the... Yep. I could swear there's health on the other side here. Boy, I screwed that up. But if there's health, I might get super lucky here. I was gonna say, yeah, this fire hurts you. Okay, I fucked up. How did I... Shouldn't have jumped. Well, I fucked up. I wanted to go to the top left, but I somehow forgot how to... Oh, shit. Well, fuck it. Better I make it a little further and die at the boss. I have to crouch to avoid that shit, but that makes the camera scroll. It's just a little annoying. So we got a Catwoman fight, but I'd rather take a death than... Yeah, exactly. That deals a shit ton of damage. But it's kind of hard to hit with, and I wasted a whole bunch of them. Should have just used that. Oh well. Now I gotta deal with this part, and if we can make it, yeah. Oh, why do I get stuck there? I hate this part because okay, I guess I gotta jump there. Like it's really kind of specific the way the collision works, and I had to fall past that. So now we game over here and have to redo this stage. So this will be interesting. So I managed to, when I played, and this, I'm so confused by the whole difficulty level thing, because like I said, the cartridge version does not have the difficulty select at all. So I'm not sure if it only affects driving stage. Although I will say that it does seem that we actually did get to keep all of our extra weapons. That is interesting. But we still spent a lot of them during the stage, so you wouldn't want to continue like 3 times. And like slightly go down in number. Like eventually you'll reach a point where you continue and you don't really have any extra weapons. I guess I mean, I'm basically only using the batarangs, and then on bosses I'm using some of the other weapons. There's probably other strats, like some of the weapons I could be using more. So yeah, I can just use this to hit this guy at least. And 9 of this, which I believe is probably the max. I'm gonna try to avoid picking that up. No, get down. Oh, I only got 1, I guess. Well, whatever. Could have batarang there, but that went better at least. Because there's only, let's see. I don't know if maybe I'm not sure if I just had 9 or if 9 is the max. For some reason, I imagine that 9 is the max for some of those like more powerful weapons. Like I feel like I've never, had more than that, but I could be wrong. And I thought I kind of had the strat down for those guys. Well, I guess getting back here isn't too bad. That's the regular batarang. Well, I'm obviously still want to collect it. What if I don't deal with that guy, but just try a different route? No, this is the part that's only leading down from here. So, ouch. Power up down there that I missed is just the gliding. So yeah, gliding is a limited resource in this game for some reason. I don't know why, it's really stupid. Okay, let's go left here then. There we go. That's the health. More batarangs? Ouch. Well, that's the health lost. And another one of the Okay, no, I can definitely climb more than 9 of this. So the... okay. It's just gliding? Yeah, okay. Better safe than sorry. Whoa. Well, assuming we do this flawlessly. It's a big if. Yeah, I think I'll just take the death here. I don't want to waste... Yeah, I really don't know what the strat is here, except... like, her iframes are crazy. Yeah, there we go. Well, we got 5 attempts at this at least. 6, I guess, if you count the extra life shit. Like, you gotta time the falling. Like, oh, it's really stupid. It's hard to explain. Just like kind of how stupid it is, but see if you turn too quick. I feel like it's to do too with like Batman's kind of pose and his falling animation, like where you can kind of and again, how like does the margin really need to be that tiny? And I'm not okay. I'm fucked now, basically. Somehow not fucked. That was real close. Okay. Now we gotta fight the penguin. Let's use a few of these. Still stays around. It's pretty convenient. Okay, we got him. Nice, he just stands in midair. Okay. Act 2 clear. We don't get a jingle, no nothing, because CD music. Your training is complete. Now try a harder difficulty setting. Jesus fucking Christ, this game. Okay, I didn't expect it to end that soon. The funny thing is that nothing seemed any easier than on the normal difficulty on the cartridge. Now, I'm not surprised. It's called training. I'm not surprised that we didn't get to play the entire game, but I figured maybe they will lock off the final stage or something. I didn't expect it to be the first 2 stages. But it's confusing too because again, like, it's not like this feels a lot easier. Like, I don't know. I remember Spider-Man versus the Kingpin, just to take another example of a Sega game from a kind of a similar era. I think that was also around like 91. Yeah, it's like pre-Sonic, so I guess 90, 91. And that game too had like a practice mode where you got to play the first 2 stages. But I remember that being a lot easier because in that game, when I was a kid anyway, I would usually play the practice mode and I would make it through the first 2 stages. But when I played on the next difficulty level, I could never even make it that far, pretty much. And this didn't at all feel easier. And that's kind of what gave me hope that maybe we could play the entire game. on this difficulty because it didn't feel easier at all. Now try a harder difficulty setting. Okay, so let me try something then. So using the level select cheat, I mean, I doubt we can actually use it to skip past anything, but let's go to the option. Let's double check that we still have the, you know, we'll do the code again. We want to double check the setting anyway. Oh yeah, right. Gotta do this. Set it to driving. And hold left and press B on everyone. There we go. And let's just try this. Set it to full game and training. And do the level skip and see what happens. If we just get the same ending, or if it'll prevent us from, because this, I'll consider this research here because I wonder how it treats the end here. I wonder if we can use this to get to the endings, I should say, because the game does have multiple endings apparently. Pause, press C. Yeah. That feels good. So it's loading now, I'm guessing. Yep, here we go. Man, don't you love it back in the day where games had codes and cheats? So you could, like, play whatever level you want. And all that jazz. Anyway. Skip this. Oh, interesting. It only skips you to the next scene. Interesting. First stage is fucking long. But that should skip the boss. Yeah. So apparently in the cartridge version, at the very end of the game, spoiler alert, whatever, you fight the penguin, and after you defeat the penguin, you fight Catwoman. And if you lose, you get some sort of bad ending. But if you defeat Catwoman, you get the good ending. Which is kind of cool. I never actually knew that. I never seen the ending of this game, so that would be interesting to witness. Although that might be a lot to ask. But apparently this version, the CD version, has a different ending for each of the 3 routes, if you want to call it that. Like driving only, platform only, or full game. Each apparently have a different ending. Okay, so this should put me at the I almost called him Riddler, the penguin escape thing. Okay, so now if I skip, do we get the try again message, or what do we get? I would assume so. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Well, it kind of sucks because, like I said, you kind of want to... Well, actually, what we could do, I was going to say, you kind of want to carry all of those extra weapons and shit with you. But you know what we could do is... Because what I was going to do is switch to normal and skip to the 3rd stage and just kind of keep playing from there. What we could do is actually skip to the farming section of the 1st stage and farm there for a little bit and then skip ahead to the 3rd stage. I think we'll try that. I mean, given that the nature of this whole project, this whole, whatever you want to call it, of playing through the Batman games, or, you know, that's the thing. Playing through them is kind of a, I would like to do it, but not the really core. Might as well grab that. Alright, here we go. I'm more about, like, exploring and, you know, experiencing. Ooh, should have picked up some more batarangs before, maybe, but alright, we'll deal with it. And I want to see more of the game, but not, you know, not at any cost. I guess I should say. And we'll see how much of a hassle this turns out to be to deal with. And if it's too much, then at least we can't skip. Although the question is, like, again, with the boss stuff. Cool, I'd totally forgotten about the heart, but I managed to get it anyway. If there's something you need to actually do at the end, completely skipping past it might be an issue. But oh well, we'll figure it out when we get there. I wasn't necessarily committing or expecting. Can't see what's going on either. Committing to or even expecting to necessarily beat the game tonight. I will see. I could very well picture this game frustrating me to the point where I just will not want to play it again, and instead know that next stream is going to be an exciting new adventure. Because I feel too like if it's a game, just in general when it comes to streaming, I don't struggle that much to like maintain my schedule of streaming on weekends. Work nights is a little different. I can feel really tired a lot of the time. Again, partly because of my sleep issues. And I just don't really feel like streaming after spending all day at work. But Saturdays and recently Friday nights, like that's pretty cool. Not a big deal. But knowing what's ahead when I'm gonna stream can be a big factor. Specifically, if I know I'm gonna play something I really hate, or if I just dread doing it, that's gonna, might tip the scales slightly in favor of maybe not doing it, or if given the choice of squeezing in an extra stream on a Tuesday night or something, if it's a game I'm excited to play, I'll make that extra effort. But if I kind of dread doing it and I can come up with an excuse not to, then it's easier to do that if I'm kind of stuck on something I don't want to play. Actually, that kind of happened with, I was playing Dark Souls, like back, this was quite a long time ago at this point, but back kind of in this current era of streaming, of me streaming, I mean, starting like last summer, 2 summers ago, I don't know. I didn't stream a lot of these retro games, my older consoles and stuff. I basically was just streaming random stuff from my backlog. And I kind of took some viewer requests. Naturally, Dark Souls came up. And I do enjoy that game. I really like it, but I remember getting sort of stuck at some point, or it wasn't necessarily getting stuck, but like aspects of doing something by request and not really what I own, what I felt like personally. On top of the game being difficult, like it led me to not wanting to stream, and like that's pretty bad. That's like the last thing you want. Well, I'm at 9 lives. How am I at weapons? 3, 4. Let's do one more lap here. So that's kind of what I feel like with this game. I was actually very excited to get back to this game tonight because last time, I don't know what I was thinking there. Good thing I didn't waste those weapons at least. Last time, I think things went kind of better than expected, partially anyway. And knowing that there's a level select cheat and everything, like I just felt good about coming back to the game. Now I feel like I just generally have been doing worse than last time. We'll see how stage 3 treats us. Basically. I think is my... I mean, if things miraculously go well, then I might be in a really excited mood. And even if we don't finish, just ending on a positive note will be enough maybe to... Okay, well, I guess that's... Oh, wait. Duh, we're not done yet. Ending on that positive note might be enough to energize me to like continue and want to play this game again. But if we... if shit goes south, I might prefer to see if we can... Oh, there's nothing there. Just get this out of the way, and we can start fresh next stream with... the next game. But... Not yet. Not yet. Let's... Alright, we're stocked up here. Let's... cheat our way back to where we left off. And let's see what the third driving stage is like. So this is the second driving stage. Oh, nope. Let's do that instead. And not to get too ahead of myself, but I'm actually really excited about the next game. Because the next Batman Returns games... God damn it. You see, I can never... For some reason, I struggle badly with saying the sequence of words Batman Returns game. I always just turn that into the plural for some reason. But the next Batman Returns game in the list is the DOS like point-and-click adventure game, which it's got a pretty good reputation, at least at the time. And obviously, being that kind of an adventure game makes it quite different from not just the other Batman Returns games, but pretty much every other Batman game in general. So that's going to be exciting. But again, let's not get ahead of ourselves. City limits. This looks pretty cool. Enemy life bar there looks concerning, but we'll see. The Super Nintendo game's coming up as well. I don't necessarily remember that being harder than this, but frankly, I mean, I remember that game quite clearly in terms of just the game, the look and feel and everything. But I really don't remember it either way in terms of difficulty. I know I haven't beaten it, so I mean, that's not too encouraging, I suppose, but the difficulty in itself isn't necessarily what I remember of it. Alright, let's... Nope. Okay. Dude, look how many enemies are left. There's no way I can do this. I do have 9 lives though, so why don't I just see if I can survive and sort of practice, make the most of it. But yeah, the Super Nintendo game is coming up, and it'll be first time in a while we'll be doing a game on real hardware, because I do actually have a card of that game. Funny, it was actually the time that did us in, but oh well. This music's wild. Mostly, I remember the beat 'em up stages in the Super Nintendo game being alright. Like, it had a few satisfying mechanics, but overall, like, it's a Super Nintendo beat 'em up. Those are never like that great. But that was still the good part of the game. I strongly disliked the weird platforming Batarang stages. Like, I just remember those not being fun. Hit the cart. Fucking. Might as well just
Try to speed things up. A missile here or there. Fucking slopes everywhere. You can't hit shit. Like, you get hit with a missile, just spend 5 seconds just bouncing. Can't hit shit. Like, this level design is really annoying. It just makes it really hard for you to ever hit anything. Like, you spend so much time. You feel like 60 seconds or whatever is plenty, but you spend so much time just bouncing around that you barely get opportunities to actually hit enemies. You really gotta make it count, I guess, when you do get a shot. Okay, I didn't mean to spend the missile on the bike, but sure. Make things go a little faster. It is, I don't know, I feel bad too. I don't I don't want to be such a downer on this. Oh, nice flamethrower, dude. Just killed me right there. These parts are cool, and I don't want to be such a downer, but they just run so poorly. Like, the game would be so much better off if, like, I don't know, if it was made a little simpler. Like, you have all these sick explosions with like 50 parts of debris go flying. But is it really worth it when they make everything just crawl to a stop? Yeah, so the DOS Batman for not Batman Forever, Batman Returns. It's kind of a point-and-click adventure, not exactly in like the LucasArts mold. It's made by a company called Spirit of Discovery, who I'm not at all familiar with from anything else. And it's kind of a like it's more of a detective game. Okay, so no bridge part there. It's a little weird, but oh well. And it's like it's got you go to crime scenes and you collect clues and you sort of piece together puzzles that way. But it's got this kind of in-game clock mechanic where like you follow the news and stuff happens not in real time per se, but like at specific times. These are the last guys. I'm not gonna be able to catch up with them, maybe. Okay, got it. 1 pip of life left. Sheesh. Yeah, so these are definitely, well, I mean, we're playing on normal, but they seem to be getting harder too. I guess I could see these cars having more life than on training. Revenged. Thank you kindly for that, host. Welcome, welcome, Revenge viewers. Ah, yeah. I'm starting to suspect I will not have the patience for this. I don't know if my thumb can keep up. But just the ridiculous amount of just how many more enemies and shit is on these stages now. And the time limits are so strict. Like, does there really need to be a super strict time limit on top of everything else? There's like shit exploding everywhere, so many enemies. But also, if you don't do it in an extreme hurry, yeah, it'll just game over. Like the TMNT game, I will be honest to say I don't remember that in detail exactly. I still feel like that game had more like action components. Holy shit, I'm knocked back really far. It's kind of weird. Like Batman Returns does have. Fuck, we're still on stage 2. Batman Returns does have like fighting, but apparently it's like not really interactive. Like it's kind of weird. It seems like it is, but you're sort of issuing orders to Batman, or you're it's like a dial where you sort of set his level of aggression, It's kind of like you imagine controlling an AI partner in an action game or something. You know, it's like attack or retreat or follow me or whatever. Like that's kind of the level of control you have over Batman, and the fighting sort of plays out automatically. But otherwise, it's like pretty much just flat out a point and click. You go to the Batcave and Batman stands there, and you like click the Bat computer and go into a menu and analyze evidence and shit. Yeah, I don't really remember the time management aspect of the Turtles game, but could well be something similar. In some way, I guess it would be a funny coincidence, I guess, but I guess it's possible. Kind of a weird long shot, but like maybe there could be some DNA, some common DNA between those games, given that they were both like Konami licensees. Batman and TMNT around that time. Maybe Spirit of Discovery was like one of the, I don't know, one of the guns for hire they had for DOS games or something. I don't know. Dude, this is rough. So this is the halfway point of the game, by the way. This is to reach stage 3. I wonder, by the way, I haven't really kept up or like paid attention, but I wonder if the timer is affected by the slowdown and stuff. I wonder if there's like a strats to killing shit in a way to like reducing slowdown, if that is an actual thing. Like say if that's a reason to get rid of one enemy as quickly as possible, as opposed to just dealing damage to both equally if you got 2 guys on screen. I don't know, I'm just thinking aloud here. Alright, didn't get 2 generated by the flamethrower. Nice. Well, got 1 missile. Oh, got some nice solid hit on the dude in the middle. Alright, did I like despawn someone there? Kind of felt like I did. Now I think we've only got these dudes left. I got a lot of time all of a sudden. This should be it, unless I crash into something again. Yeah, there we go. Nice. 13 seconds left. That seems like a lot. Alright, it should be like a mid-boss here, right? I feel like this stage is turning and shit a lot more too. That's kind of cool. It'd be cool if I can like hit him. Like you catch up really quickly, and then yeah, it's like both him and me were both kind of turning really fast, so it's. And of course you take a shit ton of damage. Well, at least it's more interesting than most of those other mid-bosses have been. There's something to it. It's not just follow it and shoot it. Well, actually it's not entirely true. The first one with the Jack-in-the-Box thing, that one was kind of neat. It's a little unfortunate that I can't shoot the thingamabobs just dropping on me to get them out of the way. Also, I gotta keep some distance. If I get too close, he's like right in front of me, whether he's to the left or to the right. But I gotta use the turbo thing to catch up, and then I gotta let go, not catch up too much. Whoa! Actually did explode. I don't know if it was because of me though. Alright, let's missile some of this shit. No, ooh. Nope, no. Oh, I feel like I didn't even damage him for the last, like, 20 seconds. Don't tell me he has some weird shit, too, where I have to, like, actually shoot the bottles when they're close to him or something. It doesn't make sense, because I'm shooting right at all of this shit. Nothing's really happening. His music, yeah, it's kind of weird. It's weirdly relaxing. I need to get closer. I think I'm just too far to deal damage. Maybe it's like the second boss where I was curious for a long time whether there's like these advanced strats that just escaped me. But it turned out that nope, just gotta get closer. And risk your life. Yep, okay. I sold some shit here. Well, that didn't do much, did it? I guess it's impervious to missiles. That makes perfect sense, right? Okay, well, we got him anyway. Whew. Stage 4. Boy, 2 lives. I do not think I'm going to make it to the boss. Hey, Dispatch, what's up? Yeah, we're giving it a try. This game is very, very difficult and unfair. I don't know if unfair is the right word. It's just, it's a dick. That wheel's not in its greatest shape. I'm dead. Generated. Flamethrowers. I guess if, after the first movie, like the Gotham criminals figured out that Batmobile's bulletproof, but it's not fireproof because everyone's using fucking explosives and fire, and that shit kills me in like 2 seconds flat. If even that, to be honest. If you're like in the flamethrower stream, like the life bar just drains instantly. Yeah, the cars definitely seem to have more HP than on training difficulty. And now I already felt they were a little too bullet spongy to be fun, and now it's even worse. It's a shame, like, there's so many cool aspects to this. I can only assume that they were too, you know, just blind to... They were like, I don't know. What's the expression? I don't know, but they didn't realize how much normal people who didn't play this game every day for like 2 years struggle with it. Because it's the difficulty balance is kind of weird. But it's also, it's not really only about the difficulty, because again, the frame rate makes the game less responsive and it's hard to even see what's going on. Although, I mean, it's hard for me at this point to judge. I mean, the same thing happens now, right? Games locked to lower frame rates, maybe not this low, but still, you know, there's this idea both from, if not developers, then at least publishers, as well as consumers, that, you know, it's more important for it to be pretty than for it to be responsive or smooth. And I guess at this point, especially on the, you know, the Mega Drive, Mega CD, this level of spectacle was impressive enough to like justify shitty frame rate. But I feel like people who would have made that argument would also have made the, you know, the argument that polygons are inherently better than sprites because of reasons. I feel like when it really comes down to it, cooler heads would prevail in terms of preferring smoothness and responsiveness to, I don't know, prettiness. Or maybe that's wishful thinking. I don't know. And even I don't know. It's like if I didn't have anything to compare to, I might not have made that argument. But the thing is, when the game has when the game does have less things moving on the screen, like now, it moves way faster and way smoother. And then there's like 4 enemies, 5 rockets, 12 explosions, and 400 bats or whatever, and it just grinds to a halt. If this was purely, if this wasn't like vehicular combat, if it was only racing, if this was like outrun style, just driving, and they didn't have all this shit on screen, I think it actually would play really nicely. I'll catch up with chat as soon as I die here. Yeah, by the way, needless to say, I can't really read chat during this. And like I said before, like, obviously the effort going into this, like, this is a lot more extra shit compared to several others, you know, games that were released on Mega Drive and then got a Mega CD release. But it's just unfortunate that this shit really isn't very fun. And we got the CD version of Adventures of Batman and Robin ahead of us too, which is only this. There's no platforming stuff in between. But it'll be interesting to see that, at least. It'll be cool, for sure. I don't know what that game is like difficulty-wise. I'm kind of dreading the worst, but can I just outrun these guys? Or how does this shit work? No, I took damage from something. Yeah, so, like, it's not, yeah, I don't know, there's so many aspects. It's just, like, why they chose to have the explosions and shit be so elaborate as they are. You know, I love it at the same time as it's just, it would seem to me that that's the thing that would cause more slowdown, and that in and of itself would be an argument against it, but, oh, I'm dead. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, working with licenses is always a thing. So who knows how much that was a factor.
You don't really think you'll win, do you?
Let's see here. Yeah, like, basically, this game is really cool. It's just the hardware is just not powerful enough. And yeah, if this was a 32x CD game, and this could have ran at like twice the frame rate, it would have been pretty cool. I assume Road Rash on 32x, is that the same as like the CD? Actually, I don't think I'm familiar with that one. Let me see if I catch up here. Oh, you mean, oh, okay, it's not Road Rash on 32x, but the Road Rash, yeah, like the CD-ROM Road Rash that was on PC and consoles. That game rules. I really love that game. But yeah, I love it on PC, but playing it on PlayStation is like, it's a mess comparatively. But yeah, wasn't that on Mega CD as well? I could swear I've seen Sharpie play it. But let's see here. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely impressive. It's just, yeah. It's an issue. But, I mean, yeah, corporate meddling, it's a thing. And, I mean, in all, I was going to say all walks of life. I don't know if that's accurate exactly, but, like, dealing with licensing can also be interesting. What ifs are what ifs. That's very much true. But I mean, it's fun to speculate, fun to imagine, and at least in the case of something like Superman, it's not something I'm terribly familiar with. But like, if there are ROMs out there of earlier builds, like that's at least, you know, we have that to kind of look at. Come on, let me fucking kill this dude already. Alright, okay, I probably didn't need that, but okay, well, we made the stage clear. Yeah, Road Rash might have been a 3DO game originally, but it was pretty much on everything. I'm mostly familiar with the PC version. That's the version I had. But I remember seeing like ads for it in like British game magazines and shit. They would always have these like classifieds or whatever with like exotic looking 3DO and CDI and Jaguar games and shit. Oh. Did Superman Returns really turn out okay? I mean, it might not have been a disaster, but I want to say it's like kind of aggressively mediocre. I guess maybe we'll find out when I do all Superman games. Except I'm probably not going to do that. It'll be pretty fun though. Maybe a smaller scale Superman game theme stream. There aren't really any good ones though. That's kind of what convinced me to do this Batman thing. I had some ideas for potential like themed challenges or gauntlets or whatever you want to call it. And one of the things that attracted me to doing Batman is that the actual overall level of quality, the average level of quality, is actually fairly high. Compared to, let's say, Superman. Okay, I see this patch about the Road Rash then. Okay, so it's... Yeah, because I know it has all the, like, the menu artwork and it has the live-action FMV stuff from the CD-ROM game. But it makes a lot more sense that the gameplay would be based on the older games because... it was a little different in that CD game. Are there good Superman games? Not really. I think the closest two are probably the Taito arcade game and the Sunsoft Mega Drive game. Sunsoft Superman game, unfortunately, is nowhere near as the Batman game, nowhere nearly as good as the Batman games. And it's extremely difficult, but it's got some super sick music. So there's always that. Okay, well, probably not gonna make it. Can I kill one of them? Nope. Just Yeah, it's interesting that, you know, especially games that are like considered just unremarkable games, like something like Returns. I remember playing the demo of that, and I don't know, it's not leaving much of an impression, I guess. And it can be one of those things where it's like it was mediocre, it was okay but unremarkable, and you come back to it 10 years later, and just being a product of its time makes it either, you know, either quaint and interesting and fun, or makes it feel antiquated and annoying. Like both I feel like are equally likely, and a lot of the time, like, I don't know, you never really know what time does to a game. And you know, sometimes again going back to the whole argument of something being pretty over being playing well, or you know, saying that this and that, just like the zeitgeist might dictate that a game is received poorly because it's like it just doesn't align with current trends. I'm not really thinking specifically of any Superman game or anything, but just in general, right? There are games that just get overlooked at the time because they don't align with the trends, and you come back to them at a different time in history, and all of a sudden, you know, freed from having to judge it in context of when it's coming out, you can make not necessarily a more accurate judgment, but a different type of judgment, and kind of figure out whether there is something to it. You know, it doesn't have to be a great game, but you can kind of maybe see something that was not as easy to see at the time. So that's one of the reasons I'm really, over the last year, I've gotten kind of excited about buying a bunch of original Xbox games, as well as older, or just in general, like building a pretty thick backlog of PS3 and 360 games. Because there's a lot of games that are starting to, you know, nearing 10 to 15 years old, and having not revisited any of those games in that time, I'm just curious. And I really feel like it can go both ways. Like, when I was playing those Bruce Lee games, the Bruce Lee's Xbox game, Bruce Lee Xbox game turned out to be like a total blast. Like, I really, really enjoyed that game. And I probably would have enjoyed it when it was new, but I could say with almost complete certainty that there would be a time where I probably would not have enjoyed it, just because it would have felt old, but not in an interesting way. Just wouldn't have felt modern. I don't know. So I could definitely see the case for re-examining something like Superman Returns, even if I did feel like I remembered it. It's definitely been long enough that it would be worth another look. You know, this isn't really going very good, guys, is it? Nice, I missed all the pickups too. And I'm kind of running out of time. Jesus, there's like 6 guys left. This is not gonna work out. I feel like I'm more interested in this conversation than playing the game right now. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a cliche, but like, I think to some degree it is unavoidable to say, oh nice, time up, so I lost control. I fucking smash into a wrecking ball. What a way to end it. It feels like a bit of a cliche to say, but like, how do you even do a Superman game properly? Like, you can't have him really go up and, you know, have a fist fight with bank robbers, even though that's like exactly what some of the older games tend to do. But I feel like it's a cliche because it's I don't know, it seems like if you thought about it a little creatively, surely it shouldn't be that big a deal to come up with something. But I guess it's just like when you think of Superman, or you think of the image of, you know, this muscle-bound hero flying and doing action-y shit, shooting lasers and breathing ice and punching shit really, really hard and lifting buildings or whatever, you tend to kind of pair that with some sort of action gameplay, right? And that... Oh, I died again. Oh, shit. And that, in turn, creates some sort of connection or expectations to certain gameplay mechanics, certain expectations. But I guess you're like probably if you were to do it in a smart way, you wouldn't really go about it like that. In the first place. But it's not really something I've given a lot of thought to. I do have a very big interest in game design as well as superheroes. But designing a Superman game in particular is not really something, even as a thought experiment, that I've ever really dwelled on. I'm really starting to despise these stages. They were okay on the training difficulty. But now everything takes too many hits to kill. And you never have enough time, and everything sucks. Yeah, and I feel like that Superman Returns is like the only thing the only thing anyone ever talked about with that game, whether it was when it was new or reminiscing, is the fact that you had the Metropolis life bar instead of the Superman life bar. And I don't mean to dismiss the idea. It's they tried something, but and it's not like that idea was what brought the game down. I think I guess it was just kind of a mediocre game in general, and that wasn't necessarily enough. And maybe the execution was a little iffy, but it was a novel idea. It was a good idea for sure. Can't make it through there. A little bit closer. Nope. Ooh, okay, I'm not dead. Turbo it up here. So I'll use my missile. Oh, might be dangerous to use the missile because you can't see shit. Gotta get a little closer to even 2 damage, I think. Oh, too close. Oh. Okay, let me catch up here. Yeah, you guys are active tonight, which is cool. I love it, but it's a challenge to keep up here. Let me pause here. But yeah, like obviously I'm a huge fan of Dead Rising, so I'm gonna appreciate that connection. But yeah, like time management or something, and yeah, come up with some some conceit that maybe I don't know. I was gonna say maybe prevents him from maybe they're in some situation where he can't just disappear and Superman can show up without exposing his identity or something. But I get at that point it doesn't it's not really a Superman game then, I guess. It sounds fun. Like you could if maybe it's some sort of crisis situation, some sort of I don't know, natural disaster or a hostage situation or something, like Daily Planet gets taken hostage or something. You have to figure shit out and do Superman shit without being discovered. That sounds like a really fun game. But yeah, it would be really hard to sell that as a Superman game, I guess. But definitely, yeah, you're right that Superman hasn't always been ludicrously overpowered. It's been different in different eras. Cedra, hey, what's up? Yep, all about hot butts tonight. Thank you for that, host. Appreciate it. I mean, yeah, I guess that's would be the obvious thing, right? Telltale style narrative. hey, you could use Superman to tell a story. Like, that's a pretty simple way of not giving the player the expectation of being able to just punch all the problems away, and and subsequently disappointing them when that doesn't work. I'd be kind of interested in that, to be honest. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not exactly super familiar with the Fleischer shorts. I know of them. I can picture them. I kind of know what they look like, but I haven't really watched them. In fact, I'm not really... I mean, like most people, I guess, my DC Comics knowledge comes more from the movies than anything else. I haven't really read many comics. I've read some. I've read a few sort of limited series. But mostly Batman stuff, and even then not a whole lot. I've read like Year One and Dark Knight Returns, and some of that stuff. I have actually read All-Star Superman. That was really good. But yeah, I think like it's hard to make like an action game that's like Superman doing Superman things. Kind of would need some sort of... Wow. Oh, wow, holy shit, I'm getting juggled here. You need some sort of special conceit, I think, or gimmick. But hey, why not? Or you can just make some sort of Justice League brawler or fighting game. There's been several of those. Less of an asshole. I mean, that's... I feel like that's an old comics thing. Boy. We never reached the boss on this stage, did we? You know, there's been... There are a few. I've been tempted, of course, you know, it's adjacent, I guess, to this project with all the Batman games. Checking out some of the, like, Justice League stuff. Parallel to this, I guess I should say also, I've been digging into some Xbox stuff, and I've been grabbing some Xbox games here and there, and there is a, I guess, Justice League brawler of some sort, I think, on like PS2, Xbox. There's also like some... Was it Young Justice or something on like 360? There's a few games like that. Yeah, Super Dickory, the game. That would be... That'd be pretty good. And there's so much fun shit. I remember back when... after the release of Arkham City... And I remember this because a friend of mine, I was in game dev school at the time, and a classmate of mine was just starting his internship at Rocksteady, and he works there still. He's a concept artist. But it's pretty fun because he and I kind of bonded over, we were friends, but we had like completely different taste in games. But Arkham Asylum was like the one game that we both really liked. And so he obviously was a fan of Rocksteady, and he was lucky enough to land a internship that led to a job there eventually. But so we talked a lot about when he was going there. This was right around, right before Arkham City launched. But there was a lot of like talk about what Rocksteady would be working on next. Obviously, this was a long time before Arkham Knight was ever revealed, because, I mean, this was even before Arkham Origins had been unveiled. But one of the prevailing rumors I remember was that apparently they were working on an open world, like Arkham-style TMNT game, which, as far as I understand, is a rumor that has absolutely no basis in reality, other than someone's wishful thinking on the internet, I guess. But another, a little more persistent rumor was that they were working on a like Silver Age Justice League kind of game. dropping the grimdark Unreal Engine barrel-chested try-hard Batman with rivets and knives and shit all over for the kind of 60s and 70s comic style kind of Justice League thing, and man, I would be so all over that. I'm so done with like new metal, edgy, like New 52 DC Comics. I mean, even not really reading the comics, but just like every attempt at making a movie or comic or everything, like everything DC for the last, God, I don't know how many years. Like, it's all been, it's all been downhill since The Dark Knight Returns in '86. Like, that's kind of what I feel. Well, I mean, I'm saying that a little jokingly, but I feel like that kind of kick-started the whole, you know, fetishization of grim and gritty and real and dark and grounded and all those other stupid buzzwords that basically take everything special out of superhero stories, out of them. I mean, as a deconstruction, it can be interesting. I really, really like Watchmen, and I like Dark Knight Returns too. But I feel like it's absurd that that's like the default to go to canon version of Superman or Batman when he can be so many other things. And I mean, I enjoy at least the first two Nolan movies, but I really like the Adam West movie too. In fact, it's probably my favorite Batman movie. And I like the Keaton movies, and in their own way, I like the Schumacher movies too. But I feel like there's this prevailing idea that that's the real Batman, and you know, can't be too different from that version. And weirdly, that is like over the years spilt over into more and more of the rest of the DC universe too. Like, for some reason, you can't have you know, underwear outside your tights because that's for nerds or some shit, I guess. So all the superheroes have to look tough and have squiggly lines all on their suits instead of underwear on their tights because that's much cooler. And Harley Quinn has to be a goth or something. Like, well, I'm just tired of that shit. I think it's valid, but it's I'm done with it. I mean, I will say also, I guess, to whatever extent it's relevant, that I've always been much more of a Marvel fan. Like, I grew up with Marvel comics, and I've read a ton of Spider-Man and X-Men, and that's always been much closer to my heart. But in terms of DC stuff, I feel like I am much more... Whoa! Nice pinball bouncing around there. Open to the idea of some of it, as long as it's getting out of that whole prim stuff. But I do feel similarly about some of the Marvel stuff, like the Netflix TV shows. I really hate how they go out of their way to, like, you know, all of them, they spend an entire season. It's like they're a season-long origin story, and like Daredevil finally puts on some sort of costume at the last second, and it looks like complete dog shit. And they refuse to wear superhero outfits, even in the movies too. I like the costume design in most of the Marvel movies, but it bothers me how so many of them like feel the need to be practical. They're fucking superheroes, dude. Let them wear tights. I miss fucking leather nipples and bat thongs. Like, that shit was cool. That shit was like, it was superheroes, right? I mean, not saying that Batman Forever is better than Black Panther or anything, but just in terms of costume design, just in terms of embracing the inherently, you know, I don't want to use the word silly because it's not the inherent silliness. I mean, it is silly, but it's fucking cool too, and it's earnest, or at least it should be, I feel. When it's at its best, it's earnest. Boy, I ranted a bit here. Let me continue and then pause and then catch up on another 20 minutes of chat here. Whoops, there we go. Yeah, I mean, Batman the Animated Series is a great example of having the aesthetic, like the gothic kind of aesthetic, but at least there's room for some levity, and there's sort of a style to it, and there's a purpose to it. And it's also, I mean, it's quote unquote dark, but you still, I mean, the villains are still absolutely cartoon villains in every sense. And yeah, they struck a nice balance. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, placing sort of blame on Dark Knight Returns, you're right in that it did lead to Burton, and I agree. I like those movies too. I don't think they're any more definitive than the Nolan movies are, but I like them all. But I think on a larger timeline, there is kind of comics pre mid 80s. I mean, Crisis of Infinite Earths, that was kind of around the same time too, wasn't it? Wasn't that mid 80s, like 85? And that kind of led to a reinvention of the DC universe. So it's not that I'm placing blame specifically on Frank Miller, but it was just those, that's kind of where things were going. The Dark Knight Returns, I guess, was just like one of those first examples of, and even that's not, I don't even know. Like looking at it now, it's still comic booky as hell, but I don't know. Let's see if I can get back on track here by seeing what you guys are saying. Bat Nimbles and Bat Credit Cards, where you drew the line, went beyond the Bat Shark repellent spray. I think Batman and Robin is really stupid, and some of the jokes are extremely stupid for no good reason. But it's still an enjoyable, fun film, and I think the production design in the Schumacher Batmans are really cool. Like, I genuinely love the street racing scene in Batman and Robin, where they ride around on these gigantic statues. Like it's crazy. And also there's a dude driving a motorcycle who has a mohawk on his motorcycle helmet. Like, I'm sorry, but no one's ever going to be able to convince me that that's not fucking awesome. But I mean, they were going for a different tone, and whether they succeeded or not, I don't know. But I mean, I absolutely prefer Batman and Robin over Batman Forever, because I think they're both. It's weird. I don't know if this is as true now, but I think for a while at least, people were under the impression that Batman Forever is a good movie and Batman and Robin is a bad movie. Like, Batman Forever was a huge hit, and people it seemed generally had fond memories of it. But if you go back and watch it, it's I don't even know how to describe it. It's absolutely absurd. And I feel like everything that sort of Batman and Robin gets blamed for, or the reasons people think that is a bad movie, I feel like pretty much all of that applies to Forever as well. But whereas Arnold Schwarzenegger is pretty amusing as Mr. Freeze in his delightful stupidity, Jim Carrey is just obnoxious as all hell. Like, he's operating on peak obnoxious Jim Carrey isms throughout that movie, and it's just like, oh. Granted, I was never the biggest Jim Carrey fan, but man, he sure is obnoxious in that movie. And I think I really kind of hate, not on the same like visceral level, but I really don't like Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face either, because he's not Two-Face. He's playing the Joker. He's like, there's no contrast between his two halves. He's got a crazy half and a crazier half. I mean, granted, it's been a long time since I watched it, but like, he's just kind of mugging, chewing scenery just as much as the Riddler in its own way. I don't really feel like any attempt was made at portraying him as, you know, even two-dimensional. But yeah, Dispatch basically, like, yeah, people, there seems to be like some sort of, like, the idea that the Batman movies were good up until forever, and then Batman and Robin came and destroyed, you know, ruined something good. That is kind of crazy. But I mean, I again, in its own weird way, like, there is stuff to like about Forever as well. But it's probably my least favorite of those four. Granted, I haven't rewatched it. I think I might not have seen it since I saw it in theaters, but The Dark Knight Rises, I really didn't like, even on the first watch. Like, it wasn't so much anything that happens in the movie or the way it's shot or directed or anything, but just on a script level, on a basic level, The Dark Knight Rises just seemed so stupid and weird. Like, it was just, I didn't feel like I had much of a shot at ever liking it. So in that sense, I want to say that that's my least favorite Batman movie. But I guess I would have to rewatch it to really. Well, I mean, unless you want to count Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, that is definitely the worst Batman movie, or Batman-related movie. Ouch. But yeah, with Dark Knight Rises, I just thought it was really stupid, the fact that, like, between Begins and The Dark Knight, he's been Batman, what, for like 2 weeks? And then Dark Knight Rises begins with him not having been Batman for a while for some reason, and then the movie ends with him retiring. On top of everything else that's so stupid that happens in that movie, I just found that really strange. I haven't watched Justice League yet, but I really have not the highest expectations. I've seen whatever version of BVS was on Netflix, I think. I don't know if it was the extended or the original version, but do I look like a cop? Oh boy. I will say, what I will always say in favor of Zack Snyder is that he makes a cool trailer. Like, he puts together cool looking shots, and his Batman is the only Batman who's ever, like, really looked like a cartoon or, you know, comic superhero on film, the way he moves. And that is cool. That's like, seeing that in BVS, and I guess probably in Justice League, is like, hey, this is kind of cool. I haven't really seen this. But like anything, like, you know, if it's in service of a story that doesn't make any sense and or is completely stupid, then it doesn't really mean much ultimately. I would really love for a series of DC Comics movies being good. But man, they sure don't seem interested in that. They really seem more interested in making whatever they can, in whatever weird way they can. Yeah, I think that's another thing too. With Begins that you bring up, like you said dangerously close to its own kind of camp, which I don't know if I would put it that way, but there's definitely there is definitely a discrepancy or like a difference in tone and style between Begins and The Dark Knight. Like I'm reminded of I saw like a thread on Twitter a few weeks ago. I think it was posted by Jay from Red Letter Media. Our post followed by a bunch of replies and whatever, where he talked about how weird it is how no one ever seems to acknowledge the fact that Batman Begins did have a very distinctly sort of stylized Gotham City with the monorail thing and everything, and then The Dark Knight is just Chicago. And I think it made me think, again, it's been a while since I saw those movies too, but I feel like I can agree with that. And like overall, especially I guess with the whole story aspect of Batman's sort of origins in the Himalayas or whatever, like obviously not part of Gotham City, but the idea of it being a little more comic booky or fairy tale-ish, like it doesn't necessarily feel like Batman Begins takes place in the real world the way The Dark Knight goes out of its way kind of to make it feel, right? You know, with the villains too. The villains in the first movie are kind of out there compared to the Joker in The Dark Knight. And even Two-Face like is kind of, they're trying their damnedest to, you know, what would a realistic version of Two-Face be like, etc. I mean, not that Batman Begins has the most outlandish version of either of its villains, but even so, like yeah, I feel like there's a difference. Like Batman Begins had its own flavor of, if not camp, then at least like stylization and I don't know what you want to call it, like style, I guess. Oh, am I ever gonna beat this? It doesn't really feel like it. I feel like I should probably take a break. I'm really running on autopilot here. I am, like I said, I'm way more into talking about these movies than trying to do this. Oh. Yeah, this is interesting. I guess you do have limited continues after all. That is interesting. That was something I wanted to look up, because I noticed that neither this nor the Mega Drive version tells you anything about the continues being limited. But I recalled from my childhood basically that limited, like, that you couldn't just brute force it like forever. eventually you do game over. And yeah, that certainly seems to have been the case here. That being the case, then holy shit, would I never beat this. That's good in a way because that makes me feel far more comfortable with using more cheats to kind of see the rest of the game. Knowing that flat out beating the game start to finish legitimately is not going to happen. I'm still going to take a break. I really need to, just step away for a moment and stretch my legs, get something to drink, and maybe go to the bathroom and such. And we'll we'll reconvene, and we'll figure out how to approach the rest of the game. I feel at this point we might just like skip the car parts and see if we can like make a half honest attempt at playing the other stages. We'll see. But like I said, let's pause this. We've been playing this game for quite a while already, so I'm not gonna feel too guilty about not having given it a fair shot or whatever. But yeah, let's take a quick break. Let's do this and let's get some tunes going. Let's mute the game. And I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
like get rid of that music. And take this music back. Let me catch up. Yeah, the Japanese Batman Forever logo's weird. It's kind of cute, but yeah, it doesn't really fit in with any of the rest of the aesthetic. Yeah, so I skipped the Revenge of the Joker, basically on account of it being a port. I mean, it's different enough that you arguably might want to do it. I don't know. But obviously it's pretty shit, right? However, we did take a fairly lengthy look at it after beating Return of the Joker. So if you're curious to see just how bad the shitty Western Genesis, I don't know if I should even call it a port, remake, I don't know, of Return of the Joker is, do feel free to check out the episode of like the VOD with Return of the Joker on the NES. But yeah, you don't really want to though. It's really, really bad. Oh yeah, so I wanted to mention too, I kind of forgot just to see, Dispatch, you mentioned I think you mentioned the follow-up movies based on the Adam West Batman show. And yeah, DC have been putting out a lot of like animated movies, some of which have been kind of interesting. Some of which, a lot of which I guess have been like adaptations of specific graphic novels or story arcs and stuff like that. I mean, they've been a bit of a mixed bag. I know there's been some of those that are like notoriously awful. Yeah, the follow-ups, yeah, like the Adam West stuff, on account of being based on that show, I guess, seemed interesting. I think there's been some comics too, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I watched that show when I was a kid, and I loved it. And I've always had a soft spot for that version of Batman. Like Adam West has always been just fun, and like the villains were so good. Like I really love that version of the Riddler and the Joker. Like they're just fun to watch. But I think as a kid, I think probably the Riddler was like my favorite villain. I still kind of have a soft spot for Riddler. Maybe that's why I dislike Forever so much, because I hate Jim Carrey's version of the Riddler. Anyway, enough about that. So, again, given that we've pretty much determined that there is no way in hell we're gonna actually beat this game properly, I feel as far as our like record keeping for the Caped Crusade, I think we've officially reached the point where I've given up on this game. I will not beat it. But since the game graciously offers the ability to skip levels, we can at least see a little more of what the game has to offer. So we'll see if I can, I can try making it through some of these other levels, and but we'll mostly skip our way through to the ending, I believe. So I think probably I should, even for something like this, it might be worth it to do a little bit of farming in this early. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Okay, we got some good stuff here. That's good enough. A lot of classic Batman villains seem to have an obnoxious quality to them. I don't know. I mean, I guess I can sort of see what you mean. I mean, I think if you look at any
comic book stuff from, you know, the 50s, 60s, 70s. It's gonna be pretty dialed up. Like, it's not gonna be very subtle. And I suppose you could say that there's like an inherent obnoxiousness to that. Like, none of the 60s Batman show villains are exactly low-key. Nice, perfect. But at least they I don't know, they didn't have grating personalities the way Jim Carrey does. It's nice that this section actually probably has one of the better songs in this soundtrack. I'm not a huge fan of the song that's in this stage in the cartridge version, which otherwise does have a much better soundtrack to me. But this part, I feel like this is like when Mega CD music is at its best. Like, whether or not it's appropriate, I don't know, but at least it's got some fucking sick wailing guitars and, you know, it's got some personality to it. I've been meaning to, by the way, speaking of 60s Batman, they finally, not too long ago, like in the last year or two, I want to say, put out the whole series on Blu-ray. So I definitely want to get that. Just rewatch it. Okay, I guess we want to... Collision is actually kind of generous there. It's pretty nice. Perfect, nice. Getting this part down. Ah, screw these guys. Fuck it. It's just... Android Assault? Not something I'm familiar with, I'm afraid. You mean a Mega CD soundtrack, or... Yeah, not super familiar. Actually, I'm a big Sega fan, and I love the Mega Drive, but never had a Mega CD. Never really knew anyone who did, like back in the day. And I've experienced a few things on it, but not really a ton. I wouldn't say I'm terribly familiar with the library. Like, given how small the library is, I still, like, there's a lot of stuff on it that I don't really know about. Human made it, huh? Well, that immediately puts it on my radar. No. God damn it. For some reason, if you jump straight, you can't use the grapple. You have to jump forward. And it's such a strange limitation. Even just published. That's okay. I mean, well, as if I'm sounding as if I have to forgive something. It's still, even whether it's just publishing, it's still kind of makes me interested. Usually, if Human's logo is anywhere on a game box, there's gonna be something interesting about that game, I feel. And I don't really collect in terms of trying to build a complete collection of anything. But to whatever extent I do collect anything, I kind of collect Human games, I guess you could say. Like, anything that they, I guess, developed or published. Anything that says Human on it, like, is welcome in my collection. Art, there we go. Alright, hopefully I don't fuck this up. I do think it's definitely a failing of this game that you can't You can't do multiple swings in one jump. Like, you have to land on your feet before you can do another jumping rope like this. Which is a shame, because the Game Gear game did have like repeated swinging, and it feels awesome. And in that particular spot in this game, like, you would be really helped by being able to swing multiple times in one jump. Alright, heading into Act 2. At this point, I kind of wish either that there were more cheats so we could get like infinite health or something to get through the driving stages differently or something. But because this way we're actually going to end up skipping, we won't get to see the bosses of the driving stages, which is a little unfortunate. It would be nice to... I'm curious to see what they're like. But I mean, that's the price we have to pay, I suppose. And, well, at least we get to see a little bit more of the game. So here goes. Skipping this officially takes us into uncharted territory. And I totally forgot about the timer, but okay, might as well just start it from here, I guess. So I did get this far when I played the cartridge version the other day. Alright, we'll just bannerang these. Alright, you have to go around. Weird leprechaun dudes. Like, these guys weren't annoying enough, so they made them more annoying. Probably pick up here. Yeah, well, it seems arguable that's going to be of help, but... Ah! Ooh, that's kind of valuable, but I don't want to go back for it. Yeah. Well, I don't really have a shit ton of extra weapons, I guess. Spanarangs. Damn, these fucking... It's kind of difficult to deal with. Oh, that's an extra... Well, I have 9 lives, so I guess I can't... Well, I guess I can sort of refill. There we go. That actually worked out. No Kirby samples, huh? Oh, stuck. Oh, there we go. Ducking. Oh, it's pretty friendly, generous of the game. That shit still connects. Might as well see again if... Wait. Was there not a... Okay, there was a pit. Oh, life. Oh, I can actually punch the thing out of the air. That's interesting. Like, it's... Oh, I can't get over how hard it is to get past any enemy without getting hit. Holy shit, okay, we made it through here. Okay, that's the first section done. Oh boy. There's another extra life there. Interesting. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, let's get this. Ooh. I probably have to like sacrifice a life to get those, right? Or does the There's ground below me, I think. Is there? I think I grappled up the first thing I did. Okay. Well, that was great use of 2 lives. That's considered research. How do I get past? Oh shit! Can I? Oh, okay. Oh, I see. You can stand. Ah, okay. It's like, how the hell? What am I supposed to? Where am I supposed to go? Why is he punching so slow? Oh, nice. Slide here. Hopefully, we'll make it to safe ground. All right. Okay. Oh, that's not obnoxious or anything. Oh, huh. There's actually an enemy in the Game Gear game that kind of looks like this design. Weird slow explosion. It's probably getting, yeah, it's getting another one. I knew it. Oh, of course. Fucking actor frames out the ass. Oh, he does. Okay, he didn't like refill his health though. Practice lives, yeah. I wonder if you can like. That's just slow. I wonder if you can like sort of bait. Maybe you get further away. No, not really. That's a lot of damage too. Dude, I fucking still landed on it. Of course, I take damage from just bumping into it. I want to see if I can just skip path. Oh, of course, the fucking lights in the background explode and hurt me. Why wouldn't they? Of course, these dudes take like 3 batarangs now instead of 1. Well, I guess we were playing on training. Oh, everything kills you. Not just that everything tries to kill you, but everything actually does too. Dude, I cannot believe fucking Sharpie beat this game legit. Asshole game. Life? Nope, of course not. You guys like this? Okay. Oh, okay. Stunned, nothing killed me in between there. This part is kind of cool though, I'll give it that. Of course. Is this the end? Well, not the end. Well, never mind. Never ends, does it? I think the boss is coming up. Yeah. Okay, so I do remember watching this. Now, I don't remember much of it, unfortunately. Can we keep some... little bit of this, I guess. Now, just be patient. Whoops. Yeah, he's gonna come down this way. Whoops. And then he's gonna come down this way. Well, that was pretty satisfying. It's making me a little motion sick. Oh, I remember these guys. Just bataranging everything. Oh, wow. Didn't actually take any damage. Well, I am spending all my batarangs though, so maybe I should not do that. I was gonna say I'm gonna fall down, aren't I? That I did not expect. Nice, okay. I was just about to say, well, this is weirdly easy so far. Okay, take that back. These things are hidden now. I wonder if they like punch you back really far. That would surprise me. It's weird, like these sword swallowers are like the most easily countered enemies in the entire game so far. Like they reach into your range for you. Like 3 stages in and the easiest enemy in the game so far. That's kind of weird. Okay, we're... Oh, shit. I'm gonna skip. I would have died for sure. Oh, shit. That was it, huh? Was that the boss? No, probably like the penguin would come out right after or something. I still don't feel too bad because I don't want to die. I don't want to lose too many lives. If I were to like properly game over, oh, this looks kind of cool. I'd have to like start over. Whoops. Okay, I guess I shoot these. This is fucking dumb. Never mind. This stage sucks. Okay. I guess the water motion alone is gonna prevent this from reaching good frame rates. Oh, but I guess this is probably less combat focused. Might be alright after all. Wait. Oh, there's a ramp. I kind of blended in. Oh, that's kind of cool-ish. Doing fucking 6 spins and tricks. Why would the ramps be all over to the one side? It seems unnecessary. Also, fucking ramps and then shit you don't want to jump into. Like that. Yeah, like, I mean, there's no enemies. I'm sure there will be eventually. Oh, we gotta, like, slow down, I guess. Never mind, they found a lot of, you know, found a way to make this fucking stupid. But I mean, it's cool. It's still the coolest one of these stages, that's for sure. Now time is an issue. Turn so you can't see shit. Dokkan-kun, thank you very much for that. Maybe you can shoot those things? I guess I didn't try it. Well, I guess we're off to a better start at least. Nope. I guess you. Like, I'm curious because when I bumped into it, it actually like dented. I thought maybe you can actually damage those things, but I guess not. I guess they're like pipes. I wanted to call them like pillars, but I guess it would make more sense if they're actually pipes. Hey, what's up? Half-Life 2, yeah, I guess. A little bit. Dude, Half-Life 2 on the Mega CD. They were pretty sick. We're probably better than this. Oh! I still think this is the coolest one of these stages. Like, it actually uses the verticality for something meaningful. The verticality in the driving stages only serves to annoy. So here it actually does something. Well, technically we've kind of given up. We're just level skip, rather, cheating our way through the rest of the game because we... I mean, I'm doing the full game, but there's no way I could beat either version. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've actually had moderate to decent success with the platforming stages. But the... Oh, I'm running out of time. Nice. But the driving stages are just way too brutal. The first two I could beat on training difficulty. But now the game ends after 2 stages on training. So on normal, the third one was just a complete roadblock. Okay, I do have missiles. I can see if missiles actually blow these things up. I'm probably gonna skip after this. Like, this is still stage 1, right? We haven't even made like one checkpoint on this stage yet. That's not promising. Also, by the way, I'm using turbo the entire time, so I'm going as fast as possible. I mean, I'm slowing down occasionally, but it's not like I really could go much faster generally. But at least I feel I made the... I mean, kind of related to bringing up Dynamite Batman and Revenge of the Joker. We took a brief look at the Mega Drive game. Dude, oh, I slowed down, but it wasn't enough. I let go of the turbo. I should have braked. Oh, you can actually like air brake even, it seems. I made the right decision there, I think, in just treating the Genesis port as a little extra thing to look at. And I'm also glad that I decided to treat this, the CD and console or cartridge version, as essentially the same, because I probably wouldn't have been able to make it all the way through either. And oh yeah, I forgot. Well, no, doesn't really seem to help. And we kind of get to see what both of them have to offer this way. Oh, for fuck's sake! All right, so before I die, screw it. Let's just skip this. Man, these, yeah, the driving stages are... Ah, cool, you don't see the car actually show up, because he didn't drive there. Oh, okay, I didn't think he was there, but, well... Oh, I'm like overwhelmed already. I did manage to not lose that life though, so that's nice. I'm just expecting bottomless pits everywhere, so I'm really scared of where I'm going. But same thing with like the Master System and Game Gear ones. Like I focused on the Game Gear game and then also briefly looked at the Master System game. Like they're close enough that I feel comfortable having only done one of them. But yeah, my I'm sad to say my patience is wearing thin for this game. I was actually really looking forward to getting to this game because I have fond memories of it. I've seen Sharpie play it recently, And especially, not this version, but the cartridge version, I've been getting kind of obsessed with the soundtrack to that game recently. And I remember this game being very difficult. Oh, hard. Nice. But part of me wanted to... Fuck's sake. Okay, I thought he died, but I guess not. Part of me wanted to see if I could actually...
You don't really think you'll win, do you?
make it, you know... defeat my childhood demons, I don't know. And actually, if not beat the game, at least, like... learn to do better at the game than when I was a kid. But... I don't know about that. I mean... to be fair, I only ever play the cartridge version. And I think, again, like, I've been doing okay in these stages. Like, I'm playing terribly now because I'm kind of drained. But, oh, shit, there's not actually even a pit at the bottom. Oh, I thought... okay. Ooh, there's life there. So, I don't know, like, admitting defeat like this doesn't feel great. Not just because I would have liked to be able to say that I actually beat this game, or, you know, like, hey, I actually could do better at this than 20 years ago. But mostly I'm worried about other games coming up that will have, you know, games that I never really did well at back then, which I guess will continue to not do well at. I just noticed he has like a boss life bar. So I guess, ooh, nice big fat heart, but also a pitfall. What the? I fell through the ground. Okay. Sadly, I'm also willing to see that this might not be a good game. Yeah, so I just skipped that part. Okay, this... ooh, okay, I was gonna say, this is Screaming Pitfall. We lucked out there, sort of, but now what? Trying to swing on this thing, god damn it. Oh, it doesn't work. Well, if we want to see the rest of the game... we're gonna have to keep skipping. Cutscene? Oh, okay, I guess... what did this thing target? Okay. Sorry, so he's like the real boss. Oh, nice, perfect. Oh, nice, limited range too. Oh, sick. Ugh. Alright, so I guess this is the boss of stage 4. Doesn't Malibu kind of have a track record of garbage? Probably. Frankly, I don't really know what else they've done. Also, whoa! There's... huh! There's no driving stage. So yeah, I do remember seeing Sharpie play this, and it's platforming hell, basically. And now we're like totally out of, well, standard batarangs, I guess. Maybe if we skip our way to the final boss fight. Nice, we got the one up. We could actually, Just spam the weapons and shit. Escape sequence? Dude, I have no idea. I haven't actually really seen the end of this game. I watched Sharpie get to this level, and I wanted to see the end, but I alas was not able, because we are not quite time zone compatible. No dodging that, of course not. Okay, yep. Ice physics, of course. What else could you want? This music's kind of cool. It's a different song. There's been a lot of like reused music. Wait! It turned upside down and hurt me. I knew it. Okay. Yeah, you like restart whenever you stood on like solid ground, basically, so you can't respawn. Still throw those things straight. No prep time before this mission, I guess, because we just came straight from the sewer level. Oh, right, you can't swing again. Yeah, this seems like you like really just have to know everything ahead of time, pretty much. Okay, I'm just gonna, like I said, we're well past the point of having officially given up, so. Oh boy, yeah, this is the part. Oh, these guys. Oh, ooh, heat-seeking missiles, excellent. Holy shit. What? Did I not build up momentum? I guess not. Okay, last life, that was kind of dumb, but I want to say this section leads to his giant duck thingy. I know it's like floating on water, but it might be in a different scene. We might skip right into the ending here. I'm okay with that, but we'll see. Nope. Okay. So this is probably... Can I stand on this? Yep, here we go. Okay. Yep. You die instantly touching the water. Okay. That's cool. Okay, we do have a continue.
You don't really think you'll win?
Also, I just realized we're playing an emulator, so I probably could do like save states, right? I think we get to keep our weapons and shit, though. Let me double check that. Yes, it seems like it. So, okay, we're fairly well stocked. Let's try to pick up those first things there, but okay, let's see. I'm totally unfamiliar with this emulator. Let's just see. Okay. We got a save state here at least. We don't have to like redo a whole bunch of shit just because I forgot how to. Press a button. I wanted to try and beat it legit, and I've accepted defeat. So, which is basically what I meant when I said I've accepted, I've given up, and now we're just into, hey, let's see if we can cheat our way through the rest of it and see what it has to offer. Because, again, when I realized that the game has limited continues, that's when I realized that I will not be able to beat this legitimately. Like, no matter... I mean, I shouldn't say no matter how hard I try. Of course, in theory, I could spend 100 hours practicing and get good enough and learn all the tricks and whatever. But in terms of... realistically... within the time frame, within the constraints of how I want to do this. You know, the option is the alternative is basically either I cheat or I end up not streaming because then, you know, if I know that, oh, if I'm gonna stream, I'm gonna have to play this again. That's, you know, legitimately would keep me from streaming most likely. All right, it seemed like a hidden thing there, but I guess not. So this is the alternative. Ooh, you do get life refill when skipping. That's nice. Save on a different slot there. So it's giving me a lot of bad ranks here. Fuck, this is... Oh, nice. They don't respawn either. What if I... The bat swarm? I wonder if that works. Oh yeah, it's kind of... Taking a lot of damage here, though. Oh, fuck, he hadn't spawned yet. Nope. Hey, this is actually not bad. Alright, I want that life, but if I can defeat him, maybe that's better. I want to imagine that this is not the final penguin. Maybe. Probably not. Are you shitting me? I didn't realize that the duck acted as a wall, so I collected the life only to die. Or... What the fuck? What the hell's going on? But... What? Maybe I soft-locked it? Good thing I saved if that's the case. No, okay, you go back... Oh, fuck, this game. Well, I guess it would make sense if you saw him fly this way. Let's, you know, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Say that... Whoa, that was kind of cool. How sliding made the rope, like, actually... Oh yeah, hey. That looks like Final Penguin to me. Oh, that's bad. We'll stick around until it can hit him. I think we got him. I guess we have to kill him in a special way. Dude, it's actually using the real music from the other version. That's sick. Dude, I love this music, actually. Okay, well, we're gonna have to load some save, I believe, but it's gotta like fucking use all the special weapons, too. Like, I get frozen there for some... Okay, now what? To knock him into this shit, or... Okay, he actually does freeze you, okay. What the fuck do you do? Like, imagine getting here and like having to like figure this shit out.
Mash your way out of that. Okay, let me... seeing as how skippable that essentially is, or beatable, I should say, let me skim through an FAQ here, because I was looking at this walkthrough earlier today. Let me see here. Okay. The penguin will come out of the the water with no R with his yellow pajama and use 2 attacks on you. One, he will shoot white balls which freeze you, and he will shoot fireballs that hurt you a lot. First, equip the gun and jump over his attacks and wait for him to hide in the water. Jump on the far right side and attack by avoiding his attacks. Okay, sure. Use the gun or the bats to drain all his health, but he won't die. Jump on the pipes with the heart and destroy the air conditioner by attacking. Once it's destroyed, the ice will start to melt and finish off the penguin, and you save Gotham from the dreaded penguin. Okay. Okay, alright. So, we kind of know the strat for this section now a little better. Gotta just make sure it spawns, so we'll get on a nice big ice flow here. Let's use something with a little more oomph. Music? I don't want to waste battery, so I don't want to... I want to be a little careful here. There we go. I think I'm actually going to skip that heart. Because I'm... Actually, you know what? Let me try to get it, because either I die... no, okay, there we go. I was gonna say, I guess I killed all these, but... Nope! I guess we fucking did. What the fuck? Why did one spawn and then no more? Well, now we have full health. I swear, this game... It gets a little stupid. No. Up! Up! I'm just gonna... No, okay. They just reset. Ah! Like, all of this is super slippery, by the way, in case that's not obvious. Okay, so let's... why not? Make a new save here. Oh, shit. No, wait. Oh, nice. I got the health afterwards. Oh, I fucking missed. This thing I want to destroy? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I wasted all my ammo. Oh shit, I didn't realize I was at fucking 0 health again. Boy. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking have to load the... Yeah, I'm gonna... We're doing this.
Hmm. Okay. It's not broken just yet, is it? No. Holy shit. So it doesn't like save it's not. But the health pickup won't be there, so. Whoops. Oh, fucking still got hit. Okay, so can I... Is it dead yet? Oh, he had to jump up so he could fall down. Okay. While he slid down, just like in the movie. There's no Catwoman fight, I guess, huh? Or maybe it's after this. Tiny little Batman. Batman Returns Sega CD. Step. Wow, what an ending, huh? So, shoutouts, Lord Nilsson. Man, this was kind of, I don't know, anticlimactic. Getting this music here is, it does put a slight silver lining on it though. This, like, again, this is the theme song from the cartridge version, and I think it's really like moody and fits the, you know, it fits the game and fits the movie's aesthetic really well too. But it stands out a little bit from the rest of the... I mean, it stands out from the rest of the Mega Drive soundtrack too. But it stands out from the rest of this as well from being, I don't know, good? Ah, that's not fair to say. Yeah, just, oh boy. That final boss fight, just with all the... Like... Seriously, I mean, I guess, I mean, the difference, what I did differently on the last attempt was just spending all of my weapons on the generator or whatever. Let's call time there, by the way. But, like, yeah, you gotta have a lot of ammo making it there, because if not, like... I barely did it, and that's after using like a lot of my weapons and picking up the non-respawning health pickup. So if you do that, pick up the health and spend weapons and don't kill him and don't like clear the boss, then you're fucked. Even if you have extra lives, it doesn't matter. And if you have to use it to continue, you have to redo the entire stage. So I just want to check one thing real fast here. So supposedly the game has a different ending depending on the mode you play. So let's do driving only, because skipping stages, there will be way fewer stages to skip basically. So let's just start here, start the game and skip to the ending and see what kind of ending we get. I'm very curious because, according to the guide and whatever I read, the cartridge version has two endings, determined by the results of a fight against Catwoman that happens after that Penguin boss fight. But obviously that fight didn't happen here. So I wonder if maybe, like... I thought maybe the platform, like if you only do the platforming stages, will you get the ending from the cartridge version? But If that version has 2 endings, then I guess probably not, right? Unless if you play the platforming stages only, then you get to fight Catwoman at the end, but that seems doubtful. Plus, then I guess they would probably advertise 4 endings and not 3, but we'll see. So this should be the last one, right? Because there was no more driving after this. Let's see what happens. Oh, maybe there's a 5th. Or is this the ending? I guess we'll see. No, there's an Act 5. Interesting. Because there definitely was not when we did the full game. So maybe this is just only a boss fight or something. I mean, there's enemies here, unlike the other sewer stage. Which I guess makes sense. Sewer... I mean, they would be in the Penguin Lair part, right? But that's kind of weird. I'm pretty sure I didn't, like, accidentally... Yeah, there's no way I skipped it by accident, because you still would have to watch the whole intro, and, like, there's a big old delay before you even can skip. That's weird. But seeing as I already wanted to get through it as quickly as possible, I don't feel too bad about it. Anyway, let's skip this shit. What do we got? That's pretty cool. Like, just like the intro, I guess, but backwards. Even a different staff roll. That's kind of a cool thing. I mean, it's not much of an ending. It's completely different. It's like there's no overlap between the endings, but they're all 2 seconds long. It's like one image. Boy. Oh, I can't even skip it. Is there like a soft reboot? I guess not. Well, I mean, the side-scrolling game already existed. They made that first, and then they added the driving to the CD version. But I'm curious, because I know The Adventures of Batman and Robin for the Mega CD is basically this driving stuff, and that's all there is to it. It's only driving. But according to my, admittedly kind of limited, but my research, it is not the same developers. So I'm curious if they, like, were able to reuse assets from this, like the code, the engine basically, but hand it off to a different developer for that game, or maybe there's something misunderstanding on my part as to how that happened, or it's just they're not as similar as I thought. But I remember the other game being very, very similar to these driving stages. Anyway, let's it's gonna be a little more, slightly more tedious because there's just a lot more to skip, but let's completely digitize. No, the only Batman game with digitized sprites is the console Batman Forever. The Adventures of Batman and Robin is like, it's all it's in the style of the TV show, and it has basically it's like almost a episode's worth of original animation made by one of the studios who did some of the episodes for the show. Obviously, aside from being Mega CD FMV quality, the animation itself is like really high quality. So there's like a few minutes of FMV between each stage and whatnot. Alright, so we're towards the end of stage 3, I think. Oh yeah, that was the boss at the end of... Yeah, okay, so we're at stage 4. I guess it doesn't take that much longer to skip through this. Because there's no actual like intro or shit that you have to wait for. It's the occasional thing like that. So stage 5, or act 5 rather. Excuse me. But I guess the Batmobile is there for 5. Batman and Robin on PS1 seems super cool. I've tried it super briefly just to make sure like it functions. It seems extremely ambitious. Much like this game, too ambitious for its own good, probably. But it's got like an open world and a timer. It's just a crazy game. But it also has like awkward late 90s 3D free roaming movement and combat and... Okay, let's see the ending here. Huh. What do you know? The Catwoman fight actually is in this version. Oh, it's like during the credits. That's kind of cool. Ooh, nice. I could probably kind of loop her there. Alright, cool. Got her. It's kind of weird that they just... Oh, okay. They just ate her, I guess. Wow, that's kind of creepy. I guess that was the ending, except there was gameplay during the credits, so there's no way I could actually pay attention to it. But hey, I guess I was right then. That actually... They just retained the ending sequence from the cartridge version. I'm vaguely curious what happens if you lose, but not that curious. None of this stuff was that cool, so... yeah. Well, I'm glad to have revisited this game, but I'm even more happy, I have to say at this point, to be done with it. We spent 5 hours with it. I think that's plenty. Alright, so let's wrap this baby up. Let's, you know what? Let's do this. And let's listen to the good soundtrack instead. Let's, yeah, I guess having it fresh in memory, here's the opening theme from the console version. And we'll just let the soundtrack rock as we do a little record keeping. Boom, let's take a look at this. Okay, let's get a few things in order here. Let's do this. Okay, sure. And interact. Okay, yeah. So, let's see here. Yeah, because the Mega CD Adventures of Batman and Robin is credited to Clockwork Tortoise, who did the Mega Drive version. I'm curious if that is accurate. It might not be. I'll have to look into that. Well, DOS Batman Returns has like an excellent reputation, at least from back in the day. Like, it was very highly regarded. I'm sure it's got some bullshit stuff that hasn't aged well in terms of accessibility. Also, dude, how fucking good is this music? How much fucking better is this than whatever the CD version had? Yeah, sorry, I can't concentrate. I just hear this bass line, it's just like, yeah. Fucking good. But the Amiga, however, the Amiga Returns was thoroughly trashed by the press when it came out. It was like a weird rush job, and it's just, yeah. Yeah, we flat out gave up. Beat with in-game cheats. I don't know if I can say that, but we could put that to, you know, just for the record, so anyone who would be curious to watch the VODs know that we reached the end. But let me put this in the red pile. My sorting system here for different different results, qualifiers for like what counts as a success and a failure. It's not entirely consistent. I've been thinking about it, and I've been trying to sort of come up with more of a system for it, but I don't know. It's not that important, I guess. But this one for sure, like, I did not beat this. I cannot claim to have beaten this. So yeah. But next up then is indeed the DOS version. I'm excited and curious to play this one. I fear that it'll be a really difficult game in many ways. But probably I can find some walkthrough or guide or something. And I think it'll be an interesting game, even if you have like a solution to it. Just seeing how they depict the movie events and everything in that game will be, I think, interesting. But that'll be another time. Like I said, I'm happy to leave this behind, and I'm happy to end on this note of, okay, we beat this game. Well, we're done with this game. Let's put it that way. We're done with the Mega Drive, Mega CD games. Next up is going to be a brand new journey of, discovery. And seeing what that version of the game is like. And yeah, that'll be fun. I think probably at some point next week, we will take our first look at Batman Returns DOS. It may depend a little bit on how much preparation I feel like I need to do for it. I'm going to do a little more research to get some idea of what we're getting ourselves into. And we'll see whether I should expect to like do it remotely legit or not. We'll see. And I also, in case it ends up being like surprisingly short or something, I want to make sure I have the other games lined up afterwards to play and everything. But we'll see how far we get with the Batman stuff, because tomorrow we'll be doing some more Fist of the North Star stuff. I will do some research here and see if decide basically on what games to play. Hey G, you're just we're just wrapping up here. Just talking about stream plans. I was thinking of doing Hokuto Musou games. Maybe we'll look at some of the Sega games, like the Mark III game, the Mega Drive game, or some such. Maybe the PS2 game. We'll see what we have time for. But I want to save the Famicom and Super Famicom games for next week. And next weekend will be the last weekend before we get our hands on Hokuto ga Gotoku, at which point all other streaming activity will definitely be put on the back burner. But one thing at a time. I'll figure out exactly which games, but we will definitely be playing some Fist of the North Star stuff tomorrow, as well as take a look at some of the. We'll do our weekly like check-in on the status of Hokuto ga Gotoku stuff. We played the demo last week, and there's been some new like trailers and TV commercials and stuff released. I haven't really seen much of it. I've just seen that it came out. So we'll check in on that tomorrow as well. But yeah, I said from the start this might be a little more of a low-key stream tonight. It's been going for about 4 hours, but I'm really feeling tired now. So I got to make sure I actually have some energy to stream tomorrow as well. So I think we're gonna wrap it up there. But hey, we are done with Batman Returns on the Mega CD. We're moving on to the DOS game. That's progress. stick around, and I will find somewhere to send all of y'all. But thank you very, very much indeed for tuning in, and hope you enjoyed watching me wrestle with this. Oh man, this game. And yeah, come back soon, will ya? See you around. Bye.